We're Sox fans.
Oof. Well, it's better than Cubs fan.
Oh, tough time to be a Sox fan.
It is. It's tough time to be a Cardinals fan. They are terrible. Even though they're beating the Dodgers right now, but that's how it goes. Like they can't beat anybody. Now
Mhm.
they beat the Dodgers.
Right? Hey, we'll take it.
Yeah,
Yeah. No, we hate the Cubs in our
that's
house.
good. We got that. Yeah, let's go. Go
Yeah.
Brewers. At this point,
Oh, yeah.
I haven't turned on. I'm so mad with this. The Cardinals aren't spending any money over the last like 3 or 4 years. We got the worst manager. They won't fire him. Like I haven't put on a Cardinals game out of spite since we got back from our cruise. And that was like the beginning of July. It's football season at this point.
Yeah, we were on the trip, right after the All-Star break, and I remember my father-in-law was like, "Wait, the Sox have won 4 in a row?" Like, they came out, like, real hot after the All-Star break. We're like, "Well, that's abnormal."
I saw a thing on Twitter last night, I think it was. It said the Sox and the Yankees have won the same amount of games over the last like bit here. So it was like I think it was 20, maybe since the All-Star break, it was like 24 and 24. I'm
Yeah,
like, ooh,
yeah.
that is not sitting well with Yankees fans.
No.
I was like, ooh, poking the bear there, man. That is
Yeah,
not good.
the
All
same level as the Sox.
right. All right. I think we're there. Let's see. Where'd that go? Okay. Too many windows. All right. So let's see. So Monday is not a holiday. Nope. Always start the show. Then I'm like, oh my gosh, Monday was Labor Day or something like that. All right. Here we go. Welcome to episode 2741 of the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. I'm your host, Mike Rallman from BeOurGuestPodcast.com and one of the senior agents over at the Magic for Less Travel. Happy Monday to you. Hope you had another great weekend. It was sure a fun one here in the Midwest. Dog days of summer, kids getting ready to go back to school. Pop of those shoulder pads on the football fields, getting ready for that Friday night lights coming up here soon. Hope you enjoyed Friday's show about training camp for Disney fans, getting you set for those trips and little humor in there. Hope. And just for the record, because I told my wife about the show after we recorded it, I did not wear a ski mask into the gas station at 3 o'clock in the morning. That was just humor, people. I did not, even though it was marathon weekend, it was cold. I would not do that. So just setting the record straight. I am a fool, but I'm not that big of a fool. So there you go. All right, today trip report time. We're gonna have a good time heading up to the big Windy City where my daughter usually is, but right now she's down here in St. Louis at this moment, but she'll be back at this point. Kelly's joining us from up in Chicago, home of my favorite fast food place, and it's not Taco Bell. It's actually Portillo's, which we don't have in St. Louis. Kelly, what's going on? Happy Monday.
Not much. It's hot here, but I'm excited to talk some Disney and think about being back in Orlando.
I know. Seriously, being at Disney trumps being in St. Louis, being in Chicago, I guess most places. If you lived in a really awesome place, maybe like Hawaii, I don't know, but definitely better than St. Louis and Chicago. I mean,
Oh,
even though my daughter came home, I was like, she came home last week, for a few days because they gave the basketball team a
mhm.
week off from practicing and all that before school starts. So she got to come home and we're hanging out and stuff. And I'm like, what have you been up to? Went to the beach. I'm like, went to the beach. So I guess that's a thing in Chicago. I guess
Oh, yeah.
she lives right downtown. I guess they go to the beach at Lake Michigan. I didn't even realize that.
Oh, yeah. It's
Hmm.
big time.
Big time. It's fun. We don't have a beach here in St. Louis. I can tell you that. You don't want to go near the Mississippi, the Missouri, Merrimack. You want to stay. So yeah, that's the thing, I guess. Lollapalooza was going on though. She says, I didn't want to go down there though. That was nuts. So I was like,
Oh, no.
good call. She said that was just wild. Anyway, let's talk some Disney. I'm so glad you're on the show here. So we always jump in with a little background on our guests, a little get to know you with your Disney history. So how did it all start for you? How'd you end up here listening to the show?
Yeah, so we grew up. Our first trip as with my immediate family was in '98. So it was me and my twin siblings who were younger. So we were 5 and 3 at the time. So we stayed at Wilderness Lodge. My mom said that, she got a great deal because it was fairly new at the time.
Yeah, yeah.
So that was the first trip. And then, from there it kind of evolved. My dad had some national conferences down there. So we stayed off property. And then I think once at Coronado, which I know is a big conference center. And then I played club volleyball growing up. So volleyball AAU nationals were in Orlando. So that was, every year. So then
Mhm.
we would kind of tack on some days. And then at some point, my parents were like, "You can go with my friend Sarah Jane and her family." And they are huge Disney people. So they kind of changed the way that I do Disney
Right.
now. Um, they like to take it slow, eat good meals. So that that for sure was changed kind of how I do Disney now. And then my last clinical rotation when I was in physical therapy school was in the Orlando area, so I got to live down there. Um, that I got an annual pass, got to go. I was there not every day, but pretty darn close.
Nice.
After I was done working, I would spend 3 or 4 hours in the evening there. And then we actually got engaged down there during that time. So I think my now husband, knew what he was getting into, but
That's good to know.
for sure. And then dabbled in a little bit of Run Disney here and there. And then now I have 2 young kids, so kind of transitioning from Disney trips being about me to Disney trips being about them.
We have a lot to unwrap here. But I love it. It's the whole continuum though. Like you've
For
gone
sure.
from, because you said, I think in your notes, you gave just a quick little outline.
Mhm.
Like you took road trips, right? Like when you were younger, like you guys drove down.
No, we mostly flew just because my dad would have so many points, he'd be
Okay,
like, "Just
but I
fly
mean,
down."
when you're like you've done a lot of the same stuff though, like that my girls did, right? You got to go with a
Mhm,
friend, and like we brought Paige's friend Molly one time for a week, and they had the
mhm,
best time. Like, it was her best friend. They played, they're the midfielders on their
yeah,
CYC soccer team together. They were inseparable. And I mean, she still talks about this trip. She's
mhm,
28, like her Molly still talk about that time. And it's just one of those things, like you go through life and you have these different types of trips, and
mhm,
you've definitely done that. I mean, it seems like you went down there for sports, and that was a
yeah,
definite, like, tell us about that when you were an athlete and
mhm,
went down, you were there. People always ask me, like, what was it like when Mallory went down for cheer, for all-star cheer? And I always try to explain that, because people are always asking in our clubhouse about, well, what's going to be like when the cheerleaders are there? They're going to inundate the parks.
mhm,
And I try to explain for the cheerleaders and the families, it's a business trip. Like, they're not focused
yeah,
on the theme parks. Like, they'll go in the theme parks when they're eliminated from the competition. But until that happens, they're down there to win a national title. And
mhm.
then they'll go to the theme parks or celebrate when the competition's over. But like, did you make any special memories, down there in any of those athletic competitions, those kind of trips?
So volleyball nationals are predominantly at the convention center
Mhm.
in Orlando, the big one, and then like 3 or 4 pools were at Wide World of Sports. So it was always like a big deal if you ended up there, and then like the title games would be there. So I think once we played at ESPN. So that was a lot of fun. I mean, but like you said, like it's not like there was no chance we were going to the parks
Yeah.
while during the tournament. So like it was never a big deal, but I'm sure cheer, especially when you're eliminated, you end up having more people at the parks.
Yeah, that's the only like upside to getting
Hmm.
booted out,
Oh
like,
yeah,
I mean, there's a lot of tears, a lot of tears, a lot of tears. Okay, now you can go to the Magic Kingdom,
yeah,
It's like, okay, you can go here and then you can go home.
right.
So
Yeah,
it does kind of
consolation prize.
softens the blow a little bit, because it's emotional.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, so let's talk about this trip that you went on,
Mhm,
because we've got all this background here. But this was a cool trip because you were down for some, very important dates,
mhm.
in the Disney timeline there. We'll talk about that in a minute. But how did this trip come together for you?
So I planted the seed maybe 2 years ago. We took my now oldest when just before he turned 2, and I was pregnant with our second. So I knew once, my second one was before he turned 3,
Mhm.
we wanted to go. So, on our nightly walks, I would, start talking about it. And originally, it kind of started as, okay, we'll drive down, maybe spend 2, 3 nights there, and then go to the beach. But it slowly evolved into a much larger trip, where we ended up flying down 7 nights. We did it all kind of. So my husband is definitely not quite the Disney person that
I
I
was gonna
am.
ask I was gonna ask, like, how bought in like, does he do it because you love it, or is he one of those that he likes it because he thinks the kids are gonna enjoy it, or is he like my wife, I think she likes the idea, like, she likes being there. Like, she
Mhm,
enjoys the vacation of it, but there's no way she's gonna listen to a podcast, read a vlog, watch a vlog, read a blog post. Like, she is just in it when she's there. Like, that's it.
mhm.
She enjoys it, though. But, yeah, she's not ever listening to one of these shows. She gets
Yeah,
me
I
all.
mean, he definitely, he does it for me.
Yeah,
Even if my kid, if I wasn't into it and my kids were asking to go, he'd probably would say no.
yeah, my wife probably too.
Yeah, but no, I mean, we've talked about it. We went on a cruise at one point when my oldest was really little too. So Disney is such a great spot for traveling with young kids just because they make it so easy. Whereas, if you're going to just say New York or California, you got to rent a car, you got to figure out car seats, there's a lot more pieces. Whereas Disney, kind of once you're there, you're fine. Like, we don't have to worry about, the car seat on the bus or anything like that.
Nice. But I do like how I think so many trips do come together in that exact way. Like, it's the
Mhm,
evening stroll, the Friday night over fajitas. Like, we should. I've been thinking about, we should go
mhm.
down for, like, just a couple days. We'll go to the beach, we'll just in and out. It'll be real quick. It won't be all of a sudden you're there for 10 days. You're taking a cruise on the back end. It's like this thing snowballed. How to get like this? And we hear that so much on this show, but I mean, that's exactly get the add-on-itis. It's not just a
Oh, yeah.
DVC thing, but it is what it is because I think we enjoy our time there so much. Now, I'm sure that your husband left all the planning and all that stuff to you because you're the Disney person. So how do you, like, when it comes time to plan, how do you decide, like, the where you're going to stay? Like, because there's so many resorts, so many
Mhm.
options. Like, how'd you narrow it down?
So previously we stayed at Pop. We loved Pop. But I have a 3.5-year-old and a 1.5-year-old. So we were kind of looking for a better pool, a little bit, slides. So we kind of looked at more of the moderate level. And then, Caribbean Beach has the, little pirate ship splash pad area. So that kind of sold it for us, just the pool, really.
Mhm.
And then, planning wise, I did most of it. So originally, we had said it was just going to be us. And then once we kind of, made it a bigger trip, my husband's like, well, we should invite, our parents, see if they want to come, kind of just not expecting them to say yes.
Be careful.
But his parents did. And I was not expecting that. So that kind of added a little bit of anxiety to the planning just to make them happy because they had not been since my husband was 10 maybe. So about
Oh,
27 years ago.
wow. Well, a couple things have changed. It's
Yes, a lot
a
has
little more
changed.
complicated nowadays. Yeah, totally.
Yes. But, my husband definitely got more involved in the planning, with dining reservations. And then when we got closer to lightning lanes, we used touring plans just to kind of put it on paper was nice. Just to have a general idea because my worst fear is just standing at each other looking like, what
Mhm.
are we gonna do next?
Right. Especially with two young kids under 4.
Yeah.
You gotta have a plan. Like, we gotta go.
Yes.
We can't. make
We don't
decisions.
have to follow it, to a T, but we just have to have a general idea of where we're going, um, and then
So
go
did
from
they
there.
did the parents just his parents just say, just tell us when and where? I mean, they because it's been so long for them, or did they give you any input?
You know what? I told them several times, I was like, "You guys can do meals without us, like, you can, go bar hop, go do whatever you guys want," and they're like, "Nope, we'll just do whatever you guys wanna do." I was like, "Sounds great."
I mean, it makes it easy, I mean, it's good to throw that out there though, like, feel free because yeah.
Yes.
I mean, so just kinda jumping ahead though, was it nice to have because everybody always says, having the grandparents there, like,
Mhm.
extra pair of hands, especially a place like Walt Disney World, were they able to, like, spend some time with the grandkids? You guys able to, like, jump like, maybe have a date night or anything like that?
You know what? We didn't, for the most part, we stayed together, we just kinda did everything together.
It's fun. Hey,
No,
I
it was
mean,
great,
no,
and
hey,
they were so wonderful, like, the only time we actually went to GO82 without them, so
right.
that was about an hour.
Yeah, it's just time and place. Like,
Yeah.
you're here long enough, get out. Yeah, so no, we'll talk about that in a minute. So, your Caribbean Beach though, I have a
Mhm,
funny story about that because when you said that with the little kids and, like, the pool, I did like, 20 years ago, we picked this place. No, it wasn't 20 years ago because Mallory's 17, almost 18. She was, man, probably 2, and I thought because when you said that, I'm like, I thought the exact same thing. We're picking this because 'cause it's got a great pool.
mhm,
Like, I picked it for the pool, and that's exactly what it we took her over there, it's like I think we even had, like, little water wings on her. I scared to death because she wasn't a
mhm,
great swimmer yet, and first thing we did was we took her over, and I don't know if they still even have this anymore, but they had that big bucket that dumps water.
mhm,
They still have that thing? Like, that
yeah,
every, like, 5 minutes, it'll, like, fill up, and then it tips over.
yeah,
She got under that thing, and it dumped all the water on, and she started screaming and crying and just hated the pool the rest of the time. I was like, "I spent all this research time," this is like
yeah,
15 years ago, like, trying to find the part, like, it was all about Mallory, like, she's gonna love this pool,
mhm,
and dude, she got under there and just I mean, just like it smoked her because it was, like, pretty powerful, and she was a little skinny
yeah,
thing. Boom, just, like, nailed her, and she's like, "Wah," run into us. I'm like, "Really? Just why were you under the thing?" She's 2 years old, you're trying to blame her for it, and I'm thinking, "I'm an idiot, like, I picked 7 days to stay here because I realized she loved this pool, and there she gets smoked out by the big bucket of water." Yeah, well,
we did the exact same thing, and that giant bucket, it doesn't give you, like, a warning bell,
well,
where,
good.
like, some other, like, water parks, it'll, like, ding before the bucket drops, and my youngest just got clobbered by the water. He's like, "I'm all done," He's like
Well, that lasted a whole, like, 7.5
Right,
minutes of fun there because
right.
I wanted to get in. I don't think I'd gotten in the pool yet. I was like, I wanted to, get in and swim under the pirate bridge, like, it was gonna be
Yeah.
nah, I can't have that fun, like, it's like, honestly, can't have nice things. Okay, so you guys get there, so did the room and everything work out well? It's because 'cause you're on the Skyliner, I mean, quick
Mhm.
review of the whole, like, Caribbean Beach experience. Was it a good choice?
Yeah, we loved Caribbean Beach. I mean, people kinda hate on how big it is. It's definitely a lot of walking, but it never really bothered us. We were in Aruba, so it was less than a 10-minute walk to anywhere. Um, but, I mean, I really liked Caribbean Beach. We both said that, the pool is a big thing for us, and, having 2 slides, the little splash pad area, and also having the just regular pool, in each of the sections, and we had really no complaints about the actual resort itself. We're probably gonna stay there again.
Nice. That's the biggest recommendation there. So, and
Yeah.
for the record, you guys were there a few weeks back, and if folks are
Mhm.
listening to this later on down the line, because people listen to these years later, this would have been like mid-July of 2025. It was super hot. I mean, it was
It's
blazing
really
hot,
hot.
right? I mean, it's so hot. I mean, you're from the Midwest, you're from Chicago. I mean, it was just as hot up there at the time, but
Yeah.
little kids and guys like tips for because that I mean that was it was like hotter than normal. Like it was intense heat.
It was really hot, and, like, it didn't rain too much while we were there, so I feel like sometimes with the rain, you kinda get a little bit of relief after, not so much with the humidity, but with the heat. So we didn't really get that relief. But I mean, you just kinda deal with it. I mean, you know what you're getting into. Um, I talked with my in-laws before the trip, it is going to be hot. Just accept it. You're gonna sweat. You're gonna walk out of your door and feel wet immediately.
That's true.
So, I mean, I feel like it's just kind of a mental space of, accepting that it's gonna be really hot. We definitely did, the fans, the cooling towels. We definitely did more shows than I think we would've, on a trip not in July. But my husband's a teacher, so we're kinda limited to, summer trips. But yeah, definitely very, very hot.
I'm a veteran of the July trip. I mean, exactly. My wife and I are both teachers for years, so
Yeah.
yes, been there, done that. But yeah, it's one of those things. I mean, that's why we always advocated for the rope drop, midday break,
Mhm,
back. Jump to another park where you're having dinner, stay till it closes,
mhm.
rinse and repeat. And just it's always I always said it's same temperature back in St. Louis as it is
Mhm.
in Orlando.
Right,
You're gonna have more fun in Orlando. Just
exactly.
take advantage of the morning when it's cooler. All right, so a
Yes.
couple of things I want to
Mhm,
jump into before we kind of talk about just some of the memories from your times in the theme parks. But you did rent a stroller from
mhm,
Strollers, it says, I think in the
mhm.
set up at the airport. So people are always asking about that. So while we have you here, I mean, did that work out well? Because I get that
Yeah.
question a lot and you have firsthand knowledge.
Yeah, so we used Kingdom strollers. I chose the airport pickup solely because we were using 2 different modes of transportation to and from the airport, so I didn't wanna deal with, having to time everything up, with the delivery to the hotel, but you know, they just tell you where to go and the stroller was waiting. I didn't even have to talk to anybody. Just says your name, you take it, and then the same thing on the way back. It ended up because we were delayed on the way home, our flight, so it was nice having the stroller for, the extra 2 hours that we were in the airport, just to have somewhere to put the 1.5-year-old.
Nice. Okay, so you get down there, you're ready to rock. Looks like you guys headed over to the Riviera,
Mhm.
did a little lunch, but then you did Blizzard Beach for your free check-in day water
Yep.
park. So that's a good start. So did everything. How's this first day go? Because I like the quick lunch over at, I guess, Prima Piatto.
Mhm. Yep.
Oh god, I'd kill for that right now. I mean, it's almost as good as
It's so
Portillo.
good.
Oh, what is it? Replace and start with P. I like it. But so I mean, did the first day, because I mean, best laid plans, but I always like having a quick service that first day because you're not
Mhm.
like stressing about trying to make an ADR. That's a great plan. But I mean,
For
did
sure.
it work out well with that free water park day the first day?
Yeah, so my husband, what he remembers from their Disney trip, growing up was Blizzard Beach. So that was a big important he was like, "No, we're going to Blizzard Beach." I was like, "Are you sure? I heard Typhoon Lagoon might be better," but he was
Oh,
like,
yeah,
"No, we're
so
going to Blizzard Beach."
your husband had to go down Summit Plummet, right? Was that
He
the thing?
did
Yeah.
several times.
So
He's like, "I'm not gonna talk to you if you don't go down Summit Plummet." I was like,
I love it.
"I
Yeah.
don't wanna be in pain the rest of this trip."
I
Like
I've yeah, I'm retired from Summit Plummet at this point in my life. Like, I kept looking on the Magic, that tube thing. I'm
Mhm.
like, I can't do anything where the
No.
trapdoor falls out from under me, my back. I can't. I'd be dead. I'd be a noodle at the bottom. They'd be calling, the helicopter. No. So go ahead, sorry.
No, I mean, my kids, they love the little tyke area, they have, like, the mini tubes, they both loved that, and then, I mean, the lazy river is great, and then we did the wave pool. My husband lost his magic band in the wave pool.
I wonder how many of those they pick up every day.
Seriously.
They probably just
Just
resell.
gets sucked into the wave machine. I was
No,
like,
that's
but
that's good for
yeah,
us
we
though.
loved it. Yeah.
Easing into vacation, especially in
Mhm.
July. Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
yeah. Yeah, no,
You guys
it
had
was
dinner
great.
over dinner at Art of Animation too. I mean,
Well,
that's
my oldest son really wanted to go on the Skyliner,
oh,
so we
perfect.
were like we we had to do it. We were like, "Okay, we'll just get a pizza," and then we saw on the radar, the rain was coming, so we we're like, "Okay, we'll take the pizza to go. Quick, get on the Skyliner before it shuts down and we get stuck."
I'm gonna have to title the show Chicagoan Eats Dinner Pizza at Art of Animation.
It was
Stories.
nothing compared to Chicago pizza, but it
You
it
don't go
has
to
its
Gino's
place.
East. They go to Art of Animation, Landscape of Flavors.
Right.
Love it. That's so funny.
But I also wanted to show my in-laws, like, okay, we had lunch at Primo Piatto at Riviera. We were staying at Caribbean Beach. I also wanted to show them, the food court at Art of Animation, just to like get a scope of like the differences between the value moderate and deluxe. And, we kind of describe it as chaos level
Mhm.
decreases the higher you go.
That's so well put. I call it energy. When I work with my guests, I call it energy, not chaos. But I mean, go ahead.
Yeah.
It is what it
Yeah,
is.
it is.
It could be. It depends, like how late in the night it is. Like when I'm trying to sleep for marathon weekend, and I accidentally book myself a preferred pool view room at Pop Century. I'm like, dude, well, I don't want to be by the pool. Why is everybody out at the pool at 8:30 at night? I'm trying to go to sleep. I gotta get up in like 6 hours. Come on, people, go to bed. Who's in the pool at 8 o'clock at night? Like, yeah, what am I doing? Anyway, I know people are supposed to be in the pool. They're on vacation. It's me. I want to be back in the 90s. Anyway, okay, so you start hitting the parks the next day. Epcot's your first park.
Yep.
So, and this was your Geo82 day, but let's
Mhm.
exclude Geo82 for a second. And you had Lightning Lane. So you had plans, you had the tools to have a good day, it looks like. So how did
Mhm.
Epcot go for you?
Yes, I'm definitely a rope drop person. We were probably within the first 10 in line at Epcot. I mean, I'm definitely a fan of the new kind of rope drop where instead of, waiting with the crowd, getting in line and waiting in line, it just makes more sense to me than running as a giant crowd to one ride.
Yep.
Um, But yeah, we did, Remy's to start, and then our plan was to go to Frozen, but it was down and ended up being down like almost all day. So we kind of pivoted. We did Soarin', Living with the Land. This was my first time using Rider Swap. Um, so every ride we would ask my oldest son Jack would be like, "Do you want to go again?" And be like,
Yeah,
"Yeah,"
that's the best. Yeah,
for the most part.
the older kid, that's like the younger siblings, the golden fast pass. That's
Yes, for sure.
right.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so yeah, we had Lightning Lane for Guardians. It was because last time I was pregnant, and so our last trip the virtual queue was still a thing. So I was very adamant that we were gonna use Lightning Lane. With toddlers, I mean, I can't imagine waiting in a line longer than 20 minutes.
Yeah, 2 kids under
So
4, I think I'm pretty cheap, and I might even spring. I'm just
yeah.
like, yeah, that's probably a good idea. Yeah. Just,
I mean, you're paying all this money to get there.
yeah, you're
What's a
95%
little bit more?
in. In for a pound, in for a penny, in for a pound kind of thing. Yeah,
Right.
yeah, probably. You'd be
But
wishing.
yeah, I mean, we loved Guardians. I wish I could do it, 5 times, but I don't think my inner ear, my
Yeah,
vestibular system could handle that.
you could. I mean, I'm not. Well, I mean, I can't do it once anymore. I tried 3 times. I'm out forever. I just can't. But
I
it's
mean,
an
it's
awesome
such
drive.
a good ride.
It is.
It's just
I admit it. It's amazing, but oof.
it's intense.
It's a lot. It's a
Yeah.
lot. So the kids though, let me ask you like let me ask your kids like what was their favorite thing? Because did you ever get on Frozen? I'd imagine maybe Remy or like maybe it was Living with the Land, the best ride at Epcot. Who knows?
I love Living with the Land.
Really? There we go.
My youngest probably fell asleep on at least half of the dark boat rides.
It
But
happened.
no, we did not get on Frozen. We tried after dinner, but it was like an hour wait. I was like, if I had 2 girls, I would have pushed it, but
Yeah,
my
I
little
hear you.
boys, they're
You guys, and just look at it this way. You gotta say something for the next trip. That'll be
for
special.
sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
But
so
yeah.
let me ask you about Geo 82 while we're here, because again, not many people have made it in there yet.
Mhm.
For one, were you able to find the entrance easily?
Oh my gosh.
We were invited to go there, like would have like in a preview. We couldn't find it. Like we asked cast members, they couldn't find it either. We're like, where do you go into this place? We think it's in that window. Where's the door?
I can see
So
it from the outside. I know it's
that's
there.
how we were too. We're like, it's got to be one of the sides. Like we were like, it's either on that side or this side. We kept looking. Finally
I
found
mean,
it. Yeah.
we ended up going like by the entrance of Spaceship Earth and then walking through that way, like from the inside. And I said to, the hostess, I was like, does everybody have a hard time finding this? She was like, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was
Like,
just saying. Yeah, that's like speakeasy. Like I was like, do I gotta
right.
like an airplane too? I don't know. It was like like to make some door like wall like slide open or something. I like William
Right.
Shatner did. I don't know. I was like, something's gonna happen
Oh,
here so I
yeah.
can get in.
It
So
maybe
what
this
was
adds to the exclusivity.
exactly like I don't think I'm ever getting in, and they probably don't want me in here anyway. So what did you think of the experience though as a big time Disney fan? What's your review of GO82?
I mean, I loved, all the pictures on the walls, the Epcot, history. I will say, like, I'm a very basic Midwestern girl. So the drink menu to me was a little challenging.
Same. I
Um,
just like I know what an old fashioned is because it's got getting that.
right. And it was very heavy on like the dark liquor. Um, so I was like, I would just love like a regular margarita.
We
And
could
I'm
have a
sure they
bar
would have,
back there, yeah,
right,
but
I'm sure they would have made me one.
I felt like
Uh,
I gotta get with, something special, off the menu.
right,
Yeah, that's kind of pressure.
right. But I mean, it was very cool. I like the adults only. I mean, granted, if I didn't have my in-laws, we wouldn't have been able to go. But as a Disney fan, it's very, very cool.
Yeah, I agree. It's something I think every big Disney fan should get in there. It's
Mhm.
way expensive. I mean,
Very.
like
I was bummed because I had read when it opened that they were doing like the souvenir glasses. And I asked when we were checking out, he was like, no, they don't have them yet. Ah, you got one. No.
I thought for sure to get broken by the time I made it home.
That's like the one thing I wanted on this trip. And they were like, no, we don't have them.
That was the miracle of all miracles that it made it back to St. Louis. Because like I remember I was there the weekend the Skyliner opened, and I bought
Mhm.
like 3 Christmas ornaments of Skyliner buckets, like the little, but they were made out of glass. No, they came home as powder in my suitcases. I wish I had those things. Like I've broken so many things coming home, and I was like that. They gave them to us when we went there, and like
Mhm.
as a surprise when we left. And I was like, this thing's never making it home. And I like packed it so gentle. And I was like, for once, something actually made it and made it home. Couldn't believe it. No, so you guys had Via Napoli for dinner. Was that
Mhm.
for everybody? Everybody enjoyed pizza and all that? I mean, because again, we're back to pizza. You guys are big I mean, you're Chicago ones.
You know what? So we were on the dining plan. We decided, because I like to eat and we kind of made it more of our breaks on our
Mhm.
park day instead of going back to the hotel. Um, so we did the dining plan. I mean, we definitely weren't, the people that were like, we need to beat the dining plan, but we want to get the most out of it. So we ended up getting the steak at Via Napoli, and it was top 3 meals we had on the trip for
Wait, you,
sure.
you got a steak at Via Napoli? I
We
didn't even
got a
know Via
steak.
Napoli had a steak. Hang on.
Exactly.
Breaking news. I'm like, wait, did she just say a steak? I didn't even
Yeah.
know they had a steak at Via Napoli because I've always gotten the pizza. I know they have like pastas. I
Yeah.
had no idea they had a steak in Via Napoli.
It
Oh my
was
god.
really good too.
And it's in top 3. Oh my gosh. The stuff you like 2,700 shows in, and here we go with the steak in Via Napoli. And that's why I love these
It
things.
could
It's
be
just like, what is going on? That's
well,
great.
like, it was like a $50 steak
Oh,
or a $20 pizza. I'm
well,
like,
that's
well, the
it. Like, 'cause I'm
$50
thinking,
steak.
yeah, 'cause I'm thinking Via Napoli is not a great deal on the dining
No,
plan.
it's not.
That's what I was thinking. But I'm like, okay, we said you're not trying to beat it, so it makes sense. But yeah, wow, there's a steak there.
It was really good.
That's really good. That's not a place you expect to get a steak.
No,
I love
no,
that.
not at all.
Oh my gosh, no, my watch is talking. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. Wait, tip. If you're in the mood for a steak and you can't get into a yachtsman,
Well,
hop over
right.
to
1 credit on the dining plan for a pretty
this.
good steak.
This could be the best hack of 2025, right?
And then my son could get, his spaghetti. And
Yeah,
he was fine.
yeah, this is great for parents. This is
Yeah.
oh my gosh, that's so good. Okay, so I'll make sure we get through all this because this is so fun.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so the next day was your father-in-law's birthday.
Mhm.
And so every birthday person has to have their treats. So tell us about how you celebrated his birthday.
So I selfishly wanted to go to Gideon's at Disney Springs. I really, Pam has talked about, the peanut butter cold brew. So I had to get that. And my father-in-law is a big coconut fan. So at one point they had the coconut cake at Gideon's. So I was really hoping that it was still there, but it wasn't. So he got, I think it was golden Oreo cake, which he loved. That and a couple cookies, just for, something a little bit special for his birthday. Um,
That's
but
sweet. That's good. I mean,
it was
anything
really good.
anything good Gideon's will work on a
Oh
birthday.
my
I
gosh,
would take it. That and
so
plus it
good.
looks like you guys had a pool day, so just a good chill day, some sweets.
Yes. Yeah,
I
so we
mean,
definitely tried to do, an off day in between each park day. Just with little kids, I felt like that gave a little bit better recovery than having, multiple days in a row at the parks. Just because we only did 3 park days, so I didn't wanna spend, too much time taking breaks out of the park. Um, and my husband's kind of appeased him to have, pool days in between.
it is vacation. You
It
gotta
is vacation.
gotta remember that sometimes. You drive the party too hard, or else you'll lose the troops. Now it does say because you spent some time over at the Polynesian that night, which I
Mhm.
like. So the photo shoot was something you did at the Poly. I'm guessing it says impromptu photo shoot, but
Yeah,
it's here in the timeline between Ohana and Trader Sam's. So you just took
it
advantage of
was.
the environment over there at the Poly.
Yeah, so, like, right outside by, Pineapple and I, there's, like, that little turf,
Yeah.
activity area, and there's a photo pass, girl right there,
Oh,
and
yeah, Kim works there all the time. Our friend Kim. Yeah.
yeah. No, I mean, it was awesome. She kinda just took over, and my kids were in, like, very cute outfits for Ohana, so she kinda ate it up, and my husband made a comment, he's like, "You know what? These pictures right here make, Memory Maker worth it."
Nice. That's good stuff. I tell you what, because I mean, not to brag on Kim, but I've known Kim for over a decade. She's one of the sweetest people I've ever met,
Mhm.
and she just doesn't take pictures. She literally, I mean, it's amazing the stuff she does for families, the poses, and
For sure.
she does. Like you just said. It's not just like, oh, I'm here, snap, snap, snap. Next. Like she does. I mean, like
She spent probably
it's
10
amazing.
minutes with us,
Yeah.
and my kids were, like, rolling in the grass, and she's, like, on the ground with them, and
I bet it was Kim because I mean, they all do.
I'll
There's
have
a
to
lot of
look,
them
I
too,
tried to
but I
write
mean,
it down.
oh my gosh, that's so good because that's what she does. So, was anything remarkable about Ohana or Trader Sam's real quick before going to the Denver Studios?
So Ohana's my favorite, Disney restaurant, so we actually went there twice on this trip. 1, because of the I love it, and 2, it's such a great deal on the dining plan for
Mhm.
dinner, so we went twice. Before we sat down, we put our name in for Trader Sam's, and it was kind of borderline because they cut off the kids at 8. So they were like, "Well, if you don't get called by 7:20, you won't." So we were taking our pictures after dinner, and we got the text, and it was like 7:10.
Ooh,
So it was perfect.
yes,
And my in-laws that they actually met, on a trip in Hawaii, so I was like, "This is perfect.
that
We have
is.
to go to Trader Sam's."
So I bet they
And
got a kick out of it though because
they
Trader
did.
Sam's would be new to them. That wasn't
Mhm.
obviously their previous time, and I mean,
Right.
I mean, because it's almost like sitting in the tiki room come to life
Mhm.
with light snacks and drinks. I bet that was it. I'm just guessing that might have been one of the favorite things they did.
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely fun. I mean, my oldest loved it. I mean, anytime the room changed or anything, we got the o'oa, so
Yes.
he's trying to throw the cinnamon, across the room, and I'm like, We got enough cinnamon in the drink, buddy. I think we're good."
You never have enough. Yes. That's my drink. I have my little
Yes.
little,
It's
hourglass
fun.
back
It's so
here.
fun.
Yes. All right, so let's talk about the next day. You went over to the studios, back into the parks. You have your
Mhm.
lightning lanes ready to go. You got your single pass for Rise. So how did this
Yeah.
again? Here, hot in July, and the studios and Animal Kingdom get me with the heat, man. There's not a lot of escape. The studios, especially with shade,
Yes.
studios can.
It was hot.
Yeah, so I just look at it, I'm
Yeah.
like, whoo, hot day. But so memories from this day.
So, with our lightning lane, I kinda set them all early. I did all 3 Toy Story rides, and then with Aliens being first, just because we know it's a short line anyway, but kinda use that as a burner is
Mhm.
what, we did, so then we just kinda I mean, we lucked out with Lightning Lane this trip. I can't say enough about it. I mean, we just kinda kept grabbing them, and we did everything we wanted to. Um, the longest line we waited in was to meet Woody, which was, like, 25 minutes.
That's a good deal. Yeah.
For I mean, it wasn't the park wasn't empty by any means, but we just kinda lucked out. I mean, the only thing we took my oldest, he's 3 and a half, we took him on Tower of Terror.
I love this questionable choice. I saw that, I was cracking up.
Definitely a questionable choice. I mean, he's a big kid, so he meets all the height requirements. We kept saying, the spooky ride because we would see it on the Skyliner and be like,
Oh,
"Oh,
yeah,
there's the spooky ride."
it is.
And it wasn't even like the queue that, you know, freaked him out, it was the actual ride part going up and down.
I mean,
So,
yeah, I mean, considering you're not even 4 years old, I'd say yes.
yeah, and I mean, every time I'd ask him like, "Oh, do you wanna go again?" He'd be like, "I don't think so."
Smart kid.
That was the only time he said no.
Good. He's like, I'll wait on that one a couple more years.
Yes,
Yeah,
so I got to ride twice on that.
there you go. But did you get because that has an on-ride picture, right? I mean,
It did. Oh,
was that
yeah.
was that a classic? I mean, you
He's,
gotta have that.
holding on for dear life.
Yes. Yeah, I have Mallory's first ride on Rock and Roller Coaster, man. It is the best picture.
Yes.
I mean, her eyes are bugging out of her head when we're
He's
shooting down that thing. Yeah, I die laughing just thinking about that thing. It is my favorite, one of my favorite pictures of her. Because I was like, really, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine.
Oh, yeah.
That's what dads do. Anyway, so
Exactly.
just that's why we go to Disney.
No,
All right,
yeah.
yeah, if I was ever in that commercial, the one, the one they like, "Do you have a Disney moment?" That's what I
Mhm.
want to pull out right here when I terrorize my
Me
kids.
too.
I'm so mean. I should not have a podcast. All right, so the next day, you guys went over to Animal Kingdom Lodge. You also had a pool day. Now, didn't have a
Mhm.
pool day at Animal Kingdom Lodge, I'm assuming, but
Correct.
you went over to, for a visit. I like this though because kids, everybody loves animals, and that resort
Mhm.
is beautiful. So how'd this day unfold?
So we took the Skyliner to Hollywood Studios, then took the bus to Animal Kingdom. So that's kind of the transportation I would recommend to anybody.
I do that all the time because you're right there to get a bus. It just drops you off.
Yes.
Yep. It's like a hub.
Instead of, like, taking the bus to, I don't Animal Kingdom and then taking another bus to Animal Kingdom
Yep.
Lodge. I felt like that was what we used throughout the trip. Um, but yeah, we visited, I was you see all the videos and the pictures and the TikToks, and I guess I had really high expectations because we weren't going to Animal Kingdom. I was like, "Okay, we'll go see the animals there," and there were, like, 10 animals out.
Yeah.
So, like, in Chicago, we have 2 really good zoos. So
That's
my
true.
son
It's
was
true
like,
because you guys have like the Brookfield Zoo and stuff like that. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
my son's like,
I know that.
"Where are all the animals?"
That's true.
But it was still really cool to see, the lobby and, just see another resort, because I had never been over there.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, I didn't think about that because, like St. Louis, we have a really good zoo here. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, the coolest part about Animal Kingdom Lodge is if you're staying there, like the greatest thing is like
Mhm.
they just wander. Like you don't see a lot of animals, but like you will see just like
Yes.
in your, you're sitting there laying in your
Mhm.
bed, and one giraffe will walk by. But I mean, that's awesome. Like I'm laying in my bed, and there's a giraffe walking by. Like I don't see that very often. Yeah, it's pretty awesome. chilling in bed, and here come a couple of giraffe or wildebeest or whatever. But you're right. If you're just going over there to like see animals, like okay, there's a couple deer. Like I'm trying to avoid deer on my way home from Dairy Queen every Friday night with my Blizzard. Like where are they? They're gonna jump out, so I don't hit them. Yeah, I get it. So now you wrapped up that night with Steakhouse 71.
Mhm.
Oh man, love that place. Was that good for you guys?
It was great. I mean, the waitress we had was awesome. She was, my husband was trying to order some drink, and she was like, "Well, do you like this?" And she's like, "Try this one. If you don't like it, I'll get you another one."
Nice.
And
You don't get that every time.
no, no, you don't. But he ended up loving it, and he was like, might be the best drink I've ever had." I can't even remember what it was. But, I was a little worried of all the restaurants we went to. I was a little worried with, like, the kids menu there, because it's a steak, a chicken breast, a little bit nicer kids items than, like, pizza and chicken fingers, but they were able to figure something out for the kids, so they were fine.
Do you remember do you remember what they had? Like I said, yeah, because you're right. I mean, they don't have like
Yeah.
but I mean, they can
Yeah.
do something because like Contempo Cafe is right there.
Yeah, they ended up doing, I think just mac and cheese and a bunch of fruit, and they were great.
Good to go. All right.
Yeah.
Now, here's my question because we're day 6 now, the next day. This is your Magic Kingdom day, which I get you're kind of building up to it, I guess. But is it
Yeah.
Disney? What is your favorite park of them? Is it Magic Kingdom or is it Epcot? Because you went there first, or do you have one?
So, like, everybody has their, like, either you go to Magic Kingdom first or you go last.
Right.
I'm more of just a last person because I like ending with fireworks.
Yeah.
But
I don't have the discipline to wait till day 6. Like,
no,
I
I
I
know
applaud
it
you
was
for
hard.
that. Man, that is a long time to wait. I mean, I know you're only going to the parks for 3 days because you're trying to balance this out for your,
Mhm,
you're not trying to go super hard, pull day. I love this balance for especially midsummer
mhm.
trip, and you said it was kind of tough, but I mean, it pays off because the anticipation builds, builds, builds. So, I mean, would you do this again? Wait that long would you throw Magic Kingdom on the back end again? Did the kids? I mean, kids are younger; they probably didn't even notice, I guess.
You know what? They didn't care at all. We definitely, I mean, being at the Polynesian and Contemporary days before, we took them on around and they saw the
Yeah,
castle at least. So, my youngest now, every time we watch a Disney movie, he's like, "Castle,
yeah.
castle." So it ended up working out fine. I would probably do it again the same way.
But you kind of had a hiccup on this day because of Starlight, which we've all been looking forward to for a decade, but you were there the day that it debuted. And so this was on the 20th. This was the actual official debut, right? Not the soft opening.
Correct.
Okay. So
We did not plan to be there for this day.
yeah. Okay. So well, tell us how the day went and then kind of how it built up to, I'm sure in the evening it was just a nut house, right? I'm guessing.
Yeah, it was. I mean, we did Lightning Lane again, so we kinda knocked out all the rides we wanted to. We definitely did more shows than we would've. My husband would never go to the Tiki Room or the Hall of Presidents, but on a 95-degree day,
Yes. They're
we were going. So we hit everything. We were very productive in the morning and then kinda, hit a couple of those shows in the afternoon. And then we left the park to go to Chef Mickey's, for dinner. And we're walking out at about 4 o'clock, and people were already lining up on Main Street for the parade.
That's crazy. That's
So I
wild.
was
And I
like,
get it,
"Oh
but
boy."
oh man.
And, like, I wanted to see the parade. I mean, I remember Spectra Magic, I remember the Main Street Electrical Parade, and those are really good memories for me. So I wanted to see the parade, but walking out and seeing people lined up, I was like, "Oh boy, this is gonna be a wild night."
Yeah, it is.
So, I mean, we love Chef Mickey. I mean, people give it a hard time, but my kids loved it. I mean,
Well, I mean, it's why you go to Disney. I mean, it's the Fab
yeah.
Five. It's why you're spinning the napkins. I mean, you're not there really for the food. The food's fine. The food's really good, but it's not fancy food. But I mean, you're in the contemporary, the monorail's going by. I mean, it is the essence of a Disney vacation all in one.
For sure. And, my husband loves a buffet. So he was
And I am
happy.
the Western thing. Everybody's like, I hate it.
Yep.
Scott hates buffets. I'm like, dude, what's wrong? Just go up there and grab. Do you have to wait? Boom, get what you want. Get
Get
in,
what
get
you
out.
want. Everybody's happy.
Exactly. He's from the Midwest, though. I don't know. He's fancy.
Yeah. My husband did spill his drink. Well, I should say my son spilled my husband's drink, and it was, like, almost gone, and, like, right away, the waitress came over, and she's like, "I will get you a new one." He's like, "It was almost gone." She's like, "I will get you a new one." And he was so happy. He was like, "This is the best thing that happened today."
Very nice. Maybe she
But,
could
yeah, I
just
mean, we came back, we're walking in, and Main Street was packed already. We were back by 7-ish, maybe a little bit before 7, so the fireworks were at 10 and the parade was at 9. Um, so we kinda just killed a little bit of time, and then I was like, "Okay, well, I'll just stand." We were kinda to the right of the hub, um, and, I mean, it was really busy.
So when
All
you came back in though, there were people like on Main Street already holding their spots, like, but they obviously they can't have to keep the sidewalks clear so people can like go. I mean,
Yeah. I
but
mean, there were, like,
there's gonna
especially
be
right by the, like, flagpole,
yeah,
I mean, it was packed, like, there was no space in there at 7 o'clock.
that is wild.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
because
mean,
that's
I'm a Disney fan, like, I was ready for it to be busy. I was ready for, all the vloggers and the media to be there, um, but I was not expecting everywhere to be packed.
so. I mean, did in the end though, did it? Because you got to see Happily Ever After was
Mhm.
showing the fireworks, Starlight was showing, and you have these, like I said, you have these memories. You've seen Spectro and Main Street. Despite the crowds, I mean, obviously it wasn't ideal that you were there with, half of Central Florida, but what was your review of this whole thing?
Yeah, I mean, the parade was great. It's a little bit shorter than I would have thought, and there's not a whole lot of, like, characters or, dancers or people walking, but the parade itself is great. The music, I love, the nods to the old, parade music. When the music started, I was like, "Is this Main Street Electrical Parade?" Like, but it was just a little pieces in the soundtrack, that they threw in there. I mean, the parade is great. I think it's good for Magic Kingdom, to have a little bit more going on at night. Um, but then, yeah, I was worried about, like, okay, how do you transition from the parade to then fireworks?
Mhm.
And luckily, it kinda cleared out a little bit, um, and, we just kinda stayed where we were. Having the stroller helps because that takes that, 4
Yeah,
by 4.
it really does help because it gives you like a buffer a little bit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, there were a bunch of tour groups too. It was just packed. I would not recommend going on opening day if you can avoid it.
That's the thing is like, long term, this is gonna be fine because it does work it out. Like, it's just like
Yes.
you were there at the, apex of,
Mhm.
but this 9, 10, 11 situation will work itself out
Yeah.
eventually too, because the peak season will die down. It'll be great, but you were just there like boom, perfect
Yeah.
storm. But it is great to have that energy of a nighttime
Mhm.
parade and fire because I've always said just the Magic Kingdom Park, that's the heartbeat of it. That's how the night needs to end.
Mhm.
Nighttime parade, fireworks, and go home with some ice cream.
Mhm.
It's just that's the perfect night.
For
Yeah.
sure.
Oh,
And my kids did fine. They were tired, but, my oldest son, we at one point, we had convinced him that, like, the reflection or the glare off of a phone or a watch was Tinkerbell. Somewhere along the way, I mean, this is,
that's
years in the
okay. I
making.
like that. I like that.
So he's been, pumped to see Tinkerbell. So Tinkerbell was walking the parade, so he was, you know, very, very sleepy. I'm like, "Honey, you gotta stay awake. You gotta see Tinkerbell."
Yes. And then
And
look,
he
she's up there.
great. But he missed it in Happily Ever After, which I was so bummed about, but he
That's a
was like,
long time. Yeah.
I'm trying to, like, wake him up with ice cubes, like, he was dead weight.
Until you're a parent, you don't even know. Like I've told many times, I tried to keep Paige awake with sugar sticks, and it worked, and it was terrible parenting, but you do what you gotta do at 2 AM during extra magic hours. During those super late ones back
Oh,
in the day, the park was open till 3 AM, and we were staying.
oh, yeah.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe we did that. I'm in bed by 10 nowadays. Like, what was I doing? How did I
Mhm,
you do that? You remember, I think you put that in your notes, like, you used to go
mhm.
back those days where it'd be open.
Oh,
Did you
yeah.
you did those, like, PM because, back in some parks of AM, some had PM, and I mean, the
Mhm.
Magic Kingdom would close at midnight and have 3 extra hours for
Oh, yeah.
unseen guests.
Oh,
What do
yeah.
you like, what was your like, would you just not kill to have those every once in a while now still? Those were the best. It
I
was just like
mean,
you felt like a rock star.
a Rockstar and, like, I have a memory of, like, all the 7 Dwarfs being out at, like, 2:30 AM.
Maybe see,
Uh,
you're delusional that late at night. They really
oh,
were
yeah,
nothing. There, no, they
right, maybe they weren't there.
no, they probably were.
Yeah, they were. But, I mean, that I do miss that. I mean, the extra, half hour in the morning is nice, but to have, like, 2, 3 hours at night, that's pretty big.
Yeah, it was because I mean, even before that, they had this thing called e-ticket nights or something where you pay 7
Mhm.
bucks or something and buy this little wristband, and there would be nobody in the this is only for the
Ugh,
Magic Kingdom. You get a little wristband, they'd only keep like 7 rides open, but they would only sell, like, I think, like, 2 or 3,000 of these wristbands
oh,
in the
wow.
park for, like, 2 hours, and you could just ride over and over. It's only, like, for 1 summer or maybe 2 summers we did this, like, way back in, like, the late '90s
Mhm.
or early 2000s. Oh my gosh. It was like the precursor to the extra magic hours, and I was just like, "Oh, this is too cool." Anyway, reminiscing. So, after this day, you guys had another, kind of pool day, and you breakfast at Topolino's. I still have not done this breakfast, so tell us about that.
Oh, it was so good. I
Everybody
cannot
says
speak
that.
enough about it. I was worried. I mean, I've mentioned, my husband likes buffets, so I was a little worried, like, is he gonna leave hungry? Um, but we got the steak and eggs, and then they're like, "Oh, do you want a waffle on the side?" We're like, yes, we would love a waffle."
Who's gonna say no to a waffle on the side? Come on now.
And the waffle, I dream about this waffle. It was so good. It was
I
so
love that.
good.
Me
I'm
too.
already like, "How do I find a copycat recipe for this sour cream waffle?" Because it was so good.
Oh, that's good
But, I
stuff.
mean, it's probably my favorite character meal we've ever done. It was just it wasn't chaotic, like, I mean, Chef Mickey's a little chaotic,
Yeah.
but you know what you're getting into.
Yep, it's wild. It is.
And,
Yeah, but
like, my
everybody says that about Topolino's though. People say they love this character meal, and I don't know whether it's Mickey and Minnie and the French artist
Mhm,
outfits but they do say it is like it's laid back,
yeah,
the food's amazing, the views are amazing from the top of the Riv.
mhm,
I think it's kinda got it all.
yeah,
It's
and I
hard
mean,
to
my son ran to the bathroom. I was like, "Buddy, Donald's, like, 2 tables away. Are you sure?" He's like, "I gotta go."
yeah,
So he ran, and,
okay.
my youngest is, with Donald, and I was like, "Oh, I guess Jack's not gonna meet Donald." And the, character attendant's like, "We will be back. It's fine." Like, so, I mean, I think almost all the characters came twice to our table. It was it
That's
was
awesome.
great.
And I don't know if I'd tell like a 4-year-old that like, "Can you hold" No, I'm not playing that game. Even for Donald Duck in a art costume from Friends.
Right.
I'm just saying. So you had dinner a second time at Ohana. I love it because
Mhm.
you're right, man. Ohana, if you're not on the dining plan and they hand you the
Oh,
bill
yeah.
and you're from the Midwest, dude, it stops your heart. I'm just saying.
Oh,
Like
yes.
last time I ate there, I was like, wait, what? That's only for one person? Because I was there with the running squad. I was like,
Mhm.
I didn't bring my whole family. I'm getting charged for a whole family. That's for one person. Yeah. So that's I love that you went back there because it's your favorite place. So yeah, a little pool time though on your departure day, just to kind of
Mhm.
and then if you're
Yeah, I
fighting.
mean, my husband likes kind of finishing the trip
That's a
swimming,
good idea.
um, kinda wear them out a little bit.
That's yeah.
Um,
I always take the first flight out, which would probably be better to kind of get up and have some more fun that day before I just kick myself in the teeth and hit
Right.
reality. I shouldn't do that. It's not good. Because you had a flight delay too, which is not great
Right.
heading back. There's always the storms in the Midwest in the summer.
Mhm.
Ugh. So, but I mean, you guys it sounds like you had a great trip. So like
Mhm.
wrapping this up, like any like lasting final stories or lessons learned or anything you want to share kind of as we wrap the trip report up here. Sounds like a
Yeah,
great
I
trip.
mean, so with I think it's all related to the Cool Kids Summer, promotion that they're doing right now, but this trip, more than I remember in the past, had a lot more characters. Um, you know, we were at Caribbean Beach, so they came to the hotel in the morning every morning. But also like Magic Kingdom, so we rope drop 7 dwarves. But my youngest obviously couldn't ride. So my husband takes him in the carousel and Mickey's riding the carousel.
That is so cool.
And
Yeah.
he's, like, walking around holding hands with Chip, and Tigger's, hopping with him, and I feel like that's very Disneyland.
Yes.
So that was I mean, that's, like, a very core memory, and, I'm gonna have those videos forever of,
Mhm.
him hopping with Tigger. So I hope they continue with that, past this summer. I do feel like that's, core Disney, um and that it's a small thing that I think goes a long way, especially for, like, little kids. Um, so I hope they continue that. Um, I would definitely do the dining plan again when our kids are still kid prices. I feel like as soon as they're adult prices, it's
A little bit, yeah, you gotta maybe think about it, but yeah, kids, it's kind of a no-brainer, especially with all the character dining.
Mhm.
I mean, Pam says it all the time, and it
Yeah.
is absolutely true. But I gotta ask you though, because you just brought up something I think that, especially for our audience, but it's for everybody that visits, with the character interactions that they're having in the parks, and just like you said, like Mickey Mouse riding the carousel, I've seen so many things on social media
Mhm.
because like when I'm walking on the treadmill on my walk days, I'll scan through Twitter and Instagram and all the stuff, and you see the videos of a kid walking hand in hand with like Tigger or whoever in Fantasyland, or like you said at Caribbean Beach or the Riviera or what have you, Wilderness Lodge, and those videos live forever, and they get shared with grandma and grandpa in Wyoming and Idaho and South Dakota, and it's like the greatest thing ever. And the thing is, that is such a low cost thing for Disney to do. Like you
Right.
don't have to build a $200 million roller coaster. Like that's so simple, but it is so, to me, it's strategic. It's so like it gets, like I said, it's a core memory, and it gets shared to all these people. Like, is somebody who wants to visit the parks, like I want that. Like that's the moment, not just for the kid, but like when you're a parent, like I want that for my
Mhm.
kid. Like that it's why we go to Disney. Like I want to meet Mickey Mouse. I want my kid to walk hand in hand with Tigger. And when you said it though, you brought up Cool Kid Summer, which is a great promotion. I love this promotion. We went
Mhm.
down and worked with it earlier this summer, but it makes me worried. Like, why does it have to be Cool Kid Summer? Like, I hope this just continues. Like, it doesn't have to. Like, when it becomes fall, this doesn't have to stop. This can go fall, winter. This seems to be the like default setting now for
Mhm.
Walt Disney World, like it is at Disneyland. That's what I'm kind of hoping. I think you're kind of saying that too.
Yeah, I mean, I hope so. We'll see.
And we'll see. Good points. Well, Kelly, hey, I appreciate you coming on the show. What a great time. Took us down to Walt Disney World. It sounds like you have a wonderful family, and hope to run into you at the park sometime.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks for having me on.
All right, have a Portillo's for me up there because
Oh,
I haven't been up
oh,
there
sure.
lately. All right, take care. All right, don't forget today's show brought to you by the Magic for Less Travel. We'd love to help you get down to Walt Disney World, out to Disneyland, or sailing with Disney Cruise Line right away. And the best part, no additional cost to you. So check out all the details today over at themagicforless.com. Please also use our Amazon affiliate link when you shop online. That one extra click supports everything we do throughout the year. It's beourguestpodcast.com/Amazon. And thank you so very much to our Patreon supporters. You guys make the show possible. Couldn't do it without your support. You can support us as well, just $5 a month. And for that, you get a bonus show called Mike in the Midwest. Come over this week. We'd sure love to have you. Patreon.com/Be Our Guest Podcast. You can give me a follow on the social media at Be Our Guest Mike. That is on X.com, Instagram, and Threads. And don't forget, join us in the clubhouse. That's our Discord server. It's like a message board / live chat. All kinds of Disney fans talking in there 24/7, sports, all the Disney topics, life in general. It's the friendliest place on the internet. Coming over. It's beourguestpodcast.com/clubhouse. And finally, join us this Sunday night for the live call-in show. It is at 7 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Central, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, or Twitch. Go on the air for an hour. Scotty G joins me. We open up the phone lines and take your calls and talk Disney with you. It's like just like an old radio show. So give us a call on Sunday night. We'll talk some Disney. So hope to see you there. All right. So for Kelly up in Chicago, I'm Mike here in St. Louis, wishing you a great week. So stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you real soon. Good stuff. That was a fun show. And your crew sounds like you do stuff just like we do, like buffets. You go places I do.
Yeah. We're easy to please.
Yeah. Same. And I had no idea Via Napoli had a steak. That killed.
It was great.
That is so funny. I'm gonna have to put that in the title. Because people are like, what? I mean, 90% of people don't know they have a steak. I've never heard that in my life.
Yeah.
Huh.
It was great.
I'm looking it up.
I'll do it again.
I think you're messing with
me. No. Watch, they took it off. It's too good of a deal. They took it off.
It was limited time magic or whatever they called it for that like 5 minutes a couple years ago, like during COVID or whatever. Limited time magic steak. It's actually supposed to be at I don't know, the Chefs de France or something. I don't know. Well, hey, Kelly, I appreciate it. Thanks for taking the time, and we'll have us out on Monday.
All right. Sounds good. Thank you so much.
All right. Talk to you soon. All right. Bye-bye. All right. Now I'll talk to you guys on, let's see, it's Wednesday, Sunday morning for Mike in the Midwest, Sunday night for the live call-in show. Have a good Wednesday night, everybody. Bye-bye.